Dude, I took a Celsius a couple hours ago. I'm jacked. You
Mhm.
already know it's going to come down, though, in like an hour.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
You're good. It's about to start.
Hold on, I'll be right back for the
You're going to be
moment.
like, where's Marv? What's going on, everyone? I promised Marv was just here. He went to the bathroom or something. We are here to talk about Sinners. Sinners is a film that, if you haven't seen by now, it is a pretty big phenomenon, specifically in North America. It hasn't really opened up too much overseas, unfortunately, but it's a film that's been holding really strong at the box office. The word of mouth has been phenomenal, and Marv and I, we've been talking about Sinners, and Marv believes that not only will it get nominated for Best Picture, but that it will win Best Picture. Now, for myself, I'm more conservative in that regards. Like for me, I'm like it's way too early. But I was very curious to hear what other people were thinking. So I made a post on social media and as well as YouTube, just to kind of get an idea on what other people were thinking. And I'm going to share the screen right now, showcasing that to you guys.
Hey, everybody.
There's Marv. So I had three options. Will Sinners win Best Picture at the Oscars? Yes, no, way too early to tell. As you guys probably imagined, I'm in the camp of way too early to tell. But 37 people voted, which is pretty dope. Marv, 8% said yes. 57% said no, just flat out. And then 35% are with me, where it's way too early to tell.
But when I clicked it, it was 50% yes, and now it's gone.
Oh yeah, that lead ended really early.
I'm very upset.
It happens though, man. I mean, like I said, I think the chances of it getting a Best Picture nomination are, I would say at this point, it's not a lock, but there's a pretty good chance because there's always a big blockbuster that has a huge success amongst critics and audiences. And I feel like that's this year's like Top Gun Maverick or Avatar: The Way of Water or Black Panther or the original Avatar. So I could definitely see it. I mean, it's a film that it's a genre bending tale. Like you don't have to necessarily like horror. You don't necessarily have to like period piece. I feel like anyone can really enjoy this film, which is a testament to Ryan Coogler as a director. But I wanted to ask you, why do you feel as though it's a lock that it will win Best Picture?
I just feel as though it's a great original story that is executed very well. And I think this is Ryan Coogler's moment. I think he's going to cook come Oscar night. He might do the Sean Baker, maybe.
Oh wow! So you think he'll win picture, director, screenplay, and I don't think Coogler edited, right? I
No,
don't
he
think he
did. He
edited
did. He
Sinners.
did. He did not. I see best picture, best director, best screenplay going 3 for 3.
Just flat out wins.
I think Michael B. Jordan might get one too. Maybe.
Oh, interesting.
He probably won't, but he might get nominated.
I think the problem in terms of nominating him is that it's like which performance do you nominate him for? You know what I'm saying?
For
Like,
both. Not nominate him for both.
I don't think. Actually, I'm curious in the comment section. I don't think there's been someone that's been nominated for an acting award for playing two performances. Comment section. Let me know if that's happened before. I honestly don't think that's happened at the Oscars, so it would be monumental. By the way, we have some comments. Let's go. We have Film Kid is in the chat. He says, "Hey, good to hear from you, Film Kid." He says, "Rewatching Bottle Rocket right now. Awesome, man, dude. I rewatched that a week or so ago. Rock solid debut Wes Anderson film. I'm rewatching all of his films in preparation for the Phoenician Scheme, so I'm glad you're doing the same. I also just finished the scene where he gave her the stopwatch. That's a good scene. Looks amazing on Criterion, by the way. Joe is in the chat. Joe, good to hear from you, man. Hope you're doing well. Film Kit says I might get the chance to see it in 70 millimeter. Oh, that'd be dope. That'd be pretty awesome. Sinners in 70 millimeter. You can maybe count Natalie Portman for Black Swan for playing two different characters. I guess that might count. I don't know. I guess I'm thinking more of like when Tom Hardy played two roles in like Legend or something like The Parent Trap, where it's like Lindsay Lohan playing two roles. Um, more so like something like that. But I get what you're saying. Marv, by the way, glad to see that you've been using Letterboxd. I've been noticing.
You like
Like, let's go.
you like my activity.
Of course. That way you're able to go back and say, "Oh wow, I saw this on this day on and you're able to like keep up with it." It's cool because you're able to also see like how many times you've seen a movie.
Mm. Well, I watched The Wolfman last night and it was garbage.
Yeah, I saw you gave it a half a star.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I was
hated it.
I was more kind to it. I thought it was just kind of like, eh. It's just
No,
it existed. It was just there.
it literally insulted me. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "There's no way it's that bad," because what gave it away was the audience score, and I was like, that does not look good." But at first, I was like, "Okay, it's not too bad. It's just okay." But the more it went on, I was like, "Oh, this is bad. It's so
I
bad."
I think for me the makeup, the performances, those were aspects that kept it afloat. But
The
it's a
makeup
movie that
sucked.
it's a movie that when it ended, I went on Letterbox and I think I just wrote a sentence. I didn't really have much to say.
I didn't even see the ending. I fell asleep. It was that boring. I think I made it probably about like I think 80 minutes in.
It is kind of a shame because I feel like with Upgrade and The Invisible Man, they were both really good films, and
He
this is
takes
this is like
he
a huge step backwards, back to like Insidious Chapter 3.
No, that movie's better than that. That movie's better than Wolfman.
Um, I liked Wolfman. I didn't like Wolfman. I thought it was kind of like it's forgettable. But Insidious Chapter 3, I wasn't a fan of.
I mean,
Back to
it's
Sinners though. What was I think one thing we need to talk about is what was your theater experience like? Because you've seen it twice, just like me, right?
mm.
Or no, have you seen you've seen it more times, haven't you?
And I've seen it twice.
Oh, okay. All right. So we both have seen it twice. All right.
My first experience was pretty positive. I went opening weekend. It was sold out. And the audience loved it. They got into it. They talked to the screen. You know, it was what you want when you go to the movies, and I really enjoyed it. It felt good to go to the movies. It just felt like the perfect storm, basically. Great time. It's why I go to the movies. Same, like I told you in my Thunderbolts review. Like that's why I go to the movies. Like the whole theater's full. Everybody's they're enjoying the movie. They're interacting with it. They're interacting with each other. It's a good time. I love it. It's nothing better in my opinion. And but the second time, that was the funny one. I took my mom and I'm thinking like she's gonna love it, and she doesn't go to the movies at all. She doesn't like going to the movies. She'll rather wait for streaming.
Ah, that's a
Yeah.
shame.
Well, I mean, what I've realized was talking to my mom and my cousin and just a couple other people. Some people just don't like going to the movies. It don't mean they don't like. It doesn't mean they don't like movies. They just don't like going. They don't care for the experience that we value so much. I'm like, Mom, what about this one? What about that one? She's like, No, honey.
Well, it's also Marv because many people their phones they don't want to get away from their phones, and when you're watching a movie in theaters, you kind of have to put your phone away and actually have to pay attention.
Yeah, but even still, they don't care about what we care about. Like I get all dressed up and I get excited to go to the movies, like
Oh,
going
me
to
too.
like going to a theme park. Like is it like I since I was a kid, like it's really my thing. Some people just
Wait, did you
don't
say like
care.
a theme park?
That's what it feels like to me.
Like what Scorsese said, right?
I mean, I don't care what he says.
I'm sorry, I had to Marv.
You know how I feel about him. I don't care what he says. Him or Jodie Foster. They both can kick rocks.
Wait, what happened to Jodie Foster?
She made similar comments like the theater has it's more like fracking now and it's more like a theme park and it's not why I do it. Well, stop doing it. We don't want your services are no longer required. But like I was saying, my mom just was not into it. But the more damning the more damning, outcome was that not only did she hate the movie, but
She hated the movie.
oh yes, but it's deeper than that though. It's deeper than she just hated the movie. It's why she hated the movie. And this is what I did not foresee this, but
I got her to go. We went. And at first I'm thinking, oh, maybe my mom won't like it, whatever, but we'll talk about it afterwards. When we got out the theater, she was very quiet. And I said, what did you think? She said, I'll tell you in the car. And she said, I'm so mad at you right now. And I was like, oh, what did I do? We get outside, we get to the outside the theater, we get to the, I guess, the curb of the mall. That movie was awful. And I'm tired of you doing this to me. That's what she said to me. And
Wow.
I'm like, what did I do? She was like, that movie, like, why do you do this to me? And she was referring to when I took her to go see Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and how she spent the whole movie praying in the theater, and then she was also referring to Prometheus and how we I told you about that experience, how my whole family thought that movie,
Yes.
yeah, my entire family thought the movie was trash, and they laughed at it and roasted it the whole way through, and she's never forgiven me for Prometheus, like she has not to this day. She just said that. And she said with this, she thought it was demonic. She felt that it was demonic. She was praying the whole time while we were watching the movie. I asked her midway through if she liked it. She was like, she just didn't say anything. She just, I'll get at you after the movie. And she told me like it was so much going on, and you didn't even see what was going on. And like she broke down like the 808 keys. I was like, Mom, I was just asking you about, like, how did you feel about, this? Did they execute Jim Crow right? She was like, I don't care about any of that, because once I saw past all of that, I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. And like she said she felt very uncomfortable spiritually. These That's the word she used, and
Well,
I
that
was
means the
very
movie
sad.
worked. That means the movie worked because it's supposed to. It's supposed to challenge viewers.
That's not what I'm talking about. We're having two different conversations. You're not hearing what I'm saying. My mom thought that movie was like she was under attack. She felt like
No,
she was
no, no.
under.
No. I mean, believe me, you and I both grew up in religious households. I know. I'm saying that the film was supposed to be doing that to you. Like it's a film that's talking about the spirituality as well as choosing like the art versus choosing like religion and how like the two sometimes are going neck and neck with each other. So you know in many ways it did its job. It's just your mom didn't
That
like
that's
that
not
experience.
that's not what she wanted. That's not what she went to the movies for. And I didn't think that was what was going to happen. I thought that we were just going to watch a movie about vampires. I showed her the trailer to let her know like this is what it's about, and she said, "All right, cool, I'll go." But she just was like she focused on the music. Well, what did it with the two scenes that like did it for her, that kind of like tanked the whole movie was when Smoke visits Annie at Annie's house, and she does like the voodoo. That's a thing for my mom. That's like a no fly zone. She actually just had on
Same with
her
my parents.
yeah, like, yeah. So you know what I'm talking about then.
No, 100%. That's why when your mom said she felt like she was attacked spiritually, I'm like, yeah, my
Like
parents would say the same thing.
like my mom, like, to give you a bit of context, my mom had a guest on her show. I think it was, well, I don't know. I guess the Saturday before I took her to go see the movie. So I guess April 26th. And the lady on the show was talking about, how she's into, like spiritual stuff like voodoo and Hindu and, like the stuff. Yeah, based all that stuff. And so my mom had the interview and they did the show and it was cool and all. But my mom was not really vibing with that. She had her on the show because it was a favor or whatever. But
Right.
she did not, she wasn't into that. And I asked her, like, well, yeah, you had a show, then you liked this? She's like, I didn't like that. I got the praying as soon as she left. I was like, oh. And she was like, I think it's so crazy that, just days before I see this movie with you, I have to have that conversation. Now I see that I walk into this, and now I'm just like, wow. And she was like, but look what you're doing, son. You've gotten everybody to go see this movie. This movie is a draw. It is bringing in like people from all over. This movie was sold out on a Wednesday night at
Mm-hmm.
10:30. She was like, it's sold out on a. She's like, what did she say? She said it's sold out on a Wednesday night at 10:30. It was jam packed. Everybody's going. You got the whole family to go.
And it's bringing people to the theater that normally don't watch horror films. Like
That's what
I
she
can't.
that's what she said. And she was talking
Yeah.
about her and she was referring to herself. And she was like, you don't even see like the tricks that's going on. Like that's what she referred to. She's like, the way this movie's being pushed, the way everybody loves it, the way everybody's sharing it. She was like, y'all don't even see what's happening. And oh yeah, I forgot, I got off track really quick. Not only was it the voodoo house scene, Chad, it was the when Sammy started like having like that scene, the musical scene.
Oh, I love that scene.
That's what did that was the finisher. She was already done, but once that happened, it was curtains, and she was in prayer for the duration of the runtime after that. And I heard it all the way home. I apologized at least 200 times. I felt so bad because, and she was like, "You don't even understand. You wanted the baby to see that one because I wanted my niece to go see it,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And she said, "You made sure you got Rick and Dom and blah blah blah. I got all these people to go see it." And I was just like, "I'm sorry, ma. I didn't think that you were gonna have this reaction. I was very very much sad. It backfired completely. I
Well,
was not trying.
I was gonna say your mom was probably on the side of like the preacher, with what he was saying to Sammy about like, hey, you should.
Well, she's not that holy roller. That's more like my grandfather. Um, but
Oh, okay.
but like she's
I
not
mean, honestly, God bless the fact that you took your mom because not in a million years would I take my parents to see that
the
movie.
the reaction that you think your mom would have. My mom had.
I was gonna say. I mean, once you broke it down, it makes sense as to why she had the reaction that she did. But as I always say, Marv, at least she had a reaction. I think one of the worst feelings in the world is when you watch a movie and you don't have a reaction at all. Like we were talking earlier about the Wolfman. I didn't have a reaction at all. I watched and I was like, okay.
No,
Quickly
I
looked on
I
Letterboxd.
I, I had a reaction. That movie sucks. That movie insulted me.
So it's good. It's stinks that you didn't enjoy it, but at the same
No,
time, it's good because it's like you'll remember it. You're like, wow, that was
no,
really
I
really
won't. I
bad.
will not remember it. I flushed it from my brain. I don't want to remember it. It's that bad.
But for me, it's one of those movies where it exists. It's just there. It's at my
I'm going
memory.
to pretend it doesn't exist. I'm going to just pretend that Benicio del Toro's Wolfman is the only Wolfman, even though that's not the good Wolfman.
Yeah, that movie. That
It's
movie
bet.
is another one that it kind of left my mind. Honestly, it's kind of a shame because I feel like the Wolfman. I feel like every rendition that I've seen, including the original, it's always the same feeling where it's like great makeup, fantastic makeup, good performances, but that's about it. It just doesn't really do anything for me. I feel like in regards to Universal characters, I would say the original Invisible Man, the one from I think it was the 30s. That one I thought was really really good, and of course the remake by Lee Winnell was also quite good. But
What?
um,
What did you just say? You just said he did a terrible job, and then you just
No,
gave
no,
him.
no, not for the Invisible, not the Invisible Man. I thought the Invisible Man. I thought he did a good job. I'm
Oh,
saying that in regards to Universal characters, like the
oh,
Wolfman. It's just been one of those characters that whenever I see a movie with the Wolfman, it's just a feeling of like, eh. Versus the Invisible Man, I have a better track record because I liked the original and then the remake by Lee Winnell all these years later. I thought was also good.
mm,
So
okay. Mm.
yeah. Also, one other thing I want to talk about with Sinners as to why I believe it does have Oscar chances is because if you think about it, it's a rarity that we get a film shot on film, but on top
Mm.
of that, a film shot on 70 millimeter with great costume design, great makeup. So I think below the lines, there's going to be a lot of love. And I think that that's also going to translate well in regards to the upper categories. Like the upper categories, I think there is a chance of like possibly a screenplay nomination, maybe picture or director. I don't think I'll be honest, Mark.
Mm.
I don't think that they're going to give it to both. I do think it might be one or the other, and
Hold up. So you'll think it get one of them?
I think it will get in terms of nominations, not wins. I don't think it's going to win. I'm just going to say I don't think it's going to win. I could be wrong. We'll see
So
in
you'll think
10
it'll
months.
get it'll win one? It'll win one of them?
No,
Which
no,
one
no,
will it win?
not win. I don't think it's going to win. I think the only category in regards to the upper categories, the only one I think it possibly could win is original screenplay.
So if,
But
if if it wins, will you be mad?
really depends on what it's up against. I mean, um,
That's sad.
well,
That means that you
the
didn't love it.
other here's the
You did
thing:
not love it.
the other Warner Brothers movie that they're going to be pushing in what is it, 4 or 5 months? One battle after another. I've seen it. I thought it was excellent. It's not going to be for everyone. It's not, but it's going to be one of those cases where Warner Brothers is going to push both films.
So
Very
you're
curious.
you're you're saying that you want the other one to win. That's what you're saying.
If you're asking me right now, yes, I would want one battle after another.
All right, then just say that then, because I've read through you already. I could hear it in your tone. You've already switched sides on
Will it?
DC.
Will it win though? No, one battle after another is not going to win. It's going to be a very divisive film amongst audiences.
So, but if Warner Brothers just go ahead and just back Sinners, just Sinners is their pride and joy come award season, you're going to be very upset, aren't you?
No, I'm kind of expecting unless audiences like really, really take to one battle after another, and it's a box office success. Unless that happens, it's probably going to be that Sinners is going to get the push. Even though I do think that Warner Brothers should push both because one battle after another, from a filmmaking perspective, is really, really good. So
If
it's
this
going to
is
be it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
if this is any indication, people like laugh at that movie, like every time the trailers play, like people like boo it.
Why?
People don't like it. They played it in front of Sinners at the gallery in Philly, and everybody was like, "What?" Like you heard people like, "What?" I remember that because remember the last part of the trailer. I don't know if you watched the trailer,
Yeah,
but
I have.
so it's the last part of the trailer where Leo's like, "Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you."
I love that scene.
Like people started grinding that movie up, man. It did not land well. I'll say that much.
Well, the thing is, his character is pretty
Mind
much a
you,
stoner.
anything you say,
He's pretty much a
mind you,
stoner.
you've seen it already, so you know this. I'm just talking about for people who haven't seen it. You remember you saw it with no preview.
Yeah, no preview, no
So
pictures or anything.
so mind you, you have a different you have the context required for a person who hasn't seen it, who just got the trailer. I mean, not me. I didn't really think anything of it, but from the audience, I've seen it. I think 3 times played in the movie theater. Every time, it always lands with either a thud or like a scoff. It's really weird, and there's always
I'm
that last that
surprised.
it's that last scene. It's that last bit that does it. Because I don't know if that's supposed to be funny, but it doesn't land at all.
In the context of the film, like once you get to know Benicio del Toro's character more, by the time that scene happens, it will hit for you. I think personally.
Uh, don't say promise, because I caught you about to say promise.
No, I mean I didn't say it, but I do think that I don't know if you'll like the film as a whole, but I do think that you'll like certain aspects. I think DiCaprio, you'll appreciate his performance. Um, and the thing is, the film's also very fast paced. I mean, I saw the cut before they cut. I think it was 8 to 10 minutes. The thing is, the film it's very ambitious, and audiences didn't know who to root for, and because of that, that's why they cut 8 to 10 minutes, which I think is kind of ridiculous because it's like, oh,
That might change how you feel about the movie.
I mean, it depends on the 8 to 10 minutes. Like if they cut the sensei scene, I'm gonna be like, what the heck? Like this scene was great. Like when in the
Ten
context of the
minutes.
film.
10 minutes could break the movie.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. I'm like, why? Like, because the friend that I saw it with, like, we both loved it, and we both said, like, is there anything we would change about it? Like, we had to do a survey afterwards, and I'm like, nah, like, just keep it the way it is. Like, it's great, and it was nice too because it was completed. Like, it was shot on film, a lot of locations you can tell. Has a really cool car chase. Like, you see a little bit. I mean, it's not really in the it's in the trailer, but you can't really tell it's a car chase. But it shows some of the shots from it, and it's a great car chase. It's not going to be a film for everyone, though. It is definitely it's very ambitious, like really ambitious. Like if you watch it, if you don't like it, you'll still at least be able to say like, yeah, this is definitely a Chad film, like no question about it. I'll say that much.
I think any film that I don't like, I feel like it's a Chad movie.
Exactly. The Substance, not a Marv film. Poor Things, not a Marv film. But those are movies that are like tailor made for me.
They aren't tailor-made for you. They're very much so.
I'm like the one person that likes those movies.
No, you're not. People obviously like them. They were nominated for Oscars.
It's a good point. Oh, by the way, got some comments. Joe says, oh wait, first Film Kid. Film Kid says I rewatched Rushmore last night. I rewatched that recently too. Really liked that film. Hopefully you liked it as well. Joe says agreed, Marv, it was bad. Talking about Wolfman, I can definitely respect that. Like it's a very disappointing film. Joe, can't wait to see Sinners. Joe, I know you normally see movies at home. This is one you got to see on the big screen, man. I'm telling you, great theater experience. Film Kit, it is the worst feeling to take someone to see someone and they hate it. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that happened with Alien Romulus. Like, I remember you thought that I was going to hate it, and I had no expectations. So, like, afterwards, like, when I enjoyed it, I'm like, oh, wow, Marvin and I are going to have a bonding experience because I enjoyed it. He thought I was going to not, and he knew he was going to love it. And then when you said that you did not like it at all, like, you gave it like a negative 50 out of 5, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
I
all
hate
right.
that movie. But I'm going to do something that I'm trying to do these days. I'm going back to movies that I don't like and seeing if I'm gonna like try to spin the block and see if I like them on second viewing. And
I like that. I like that you're doing that, Marv. I do that.
I'm not doing it with everything. I'm just doing it with certain movies because, like, I be asking myself, was it really that bad, or did I just have high expectations at the time? I'm only doing it with movies like that. I did it with
Yeah.
Doctor Strange too. That movie really does suck.
Yeah, it does. It's
It,
really, really bad.
it's really bad. Like, I watched it. I was like, maybe I might find some enjoyment in it. I was like, no, it just none of it works. None of it works.
And it drags. Like, I think it's only 2 hours, but it drags so
Well,
much.
it drags, but I think I read the Marvel article. I don't know if you did. And I knew this when I first saw it, by the way. But they just have had a hard time. They've had a rough go between COVID,
Yes.
Bob Chapek trying to make them like have a bunch of shows and movies that they were accustomed to. They were just spread too thin, and they kind of like lost their luster, literally. So now they're trying to scale it back, which I think that will help. But you can see that is not just a problem for that movie. I think it's a problem for Spider-Man: No Way Home,
Oh,
Deadpool,
yeah. I mean, I know a
Deadpool.
lot of people enjoy that movie, but you can watching that movie, it was just green screen galore. Like, I'm like, wow, like they're just sitting around, but you can tell that they're in a green, like just green screens all around. Like,
Yeah,
it was very
Deadpool.
hard for me to enjoy that movie.
Yeah, Deadpool, Wolverine.
Oh, that's another one.
That's another one.
But
And
that's
then
why Thunderbolts, and tying this in with what Film Kid's saying, I'm hoping that I do enjoy Thunderbolts because I know you really, really liked it.
Thunderbolts is nothing like those movies.
No, no,
Nothing.
no. But I'm saying tying it in with Film Kit, he's saying the worst feeling is to take someone to see something and they end up hating it. So that's why I'm hoping tomorrow when we
Well,
see
I,
Thunderbolts,
I I
like
did. I'm on record saying that you won't like it at all. I did say that.
you, you also said Alien Romulus that I wouldn't like it at all.
So here's hoping by me saying you don't like it, you like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, especially since
Because if I
it
tell
seems like
you
it.
if I tell you that you will like it, you're going to not like it.
Oh my
So
goodness.
so if I tell you that you won't, you'll have low expectations, and then you'll be like, oh, okay. But at best, I'm expecting a middle of the road rating from you.
I mean, honestly, that's fine. I mean, I don't really have any expectations. I don't even really know what it's about, to be honest. I just
Because
know
you,
I like the cinematographer. He's the same cinematographer that did the Green Knight and A Ghost Story, and
mm,
the composer did the score for Everything Ever All at Once, which we saw together, and I love that score. So as long as the filmmaking is good, I think I'll have a good time. As long as the score isn't in the very back of the sound mix and it's actually at the forefront, I think I'll enjoy it.
I think that the score is the best score in the MCU. So
Oh wow, really?
yeah, that was in my review.
Yeah, you're right. That was a good review, by the way. I'm hoping to see more written reviews from you, by the way.
I will have to feel compelled to do it. I don't even like doing them, but for that movie, I had to do it. For that one, I had to. It touched me in such a good way that I had to do it. It won't happen all the time. I'll probably do it every once in a while. It has
That's
to be
fair.
the movie
I'm
has
just
to
happy
act
that you're logging films on Letterboxd. It's cool.
like yeah. It's gonna be movies that actually make me want to talk about them. A lot of times I don't know what to say. I'm like, I'm not a critic, and I don't I love the movie and that's that. But for this
Yeah.
one, I had to get my feelings out so I can encourage others who might be on the fence like if they want to check out some schmucks review, I'm right here. But yeah, I love that movie. I can't wait to see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. By the way, Joe says everyone has their opinion on movies. It is what it is. Agreed. Actually, Marv and I were talking about this earlier today. Film Kid, did you check out the Mandela catalog? No, I did not. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. What is it? Do you know what that is, Marv?
Mm-mm.
Film Kid, let us know in the comment section. Oh, Bootzilla's in the chat. Bootzilla says, "Hey, Marvin, Chad, Bootzilla,
Sure.
always good to hear from you, man. Hope you're doing well on this Friday night. I know it's been a little bit since we've been live streaming, so I'm good to hear from you. I see your Letterboxd reviews, so it's good to see you. Can't Articulate, same thing. Hello, y'all. Can't Articulate. I also see his reviews on Letterboxd, so it's nice to, interact with them. Film Kid, highest to lowest looks so good, but I understand if you don't think it looks good. No, I agree. I think it looks really good. I am going in with an open mind because High and Low, the original, the Kurosawa film, is excellent. I think it's one of the best Japanese films I've seen. So I'm very curious to see how Spike Lee, reimagines it. I'm not going to compare the two because I know it's going to be comparing apples and oranges. So hoping it's going to be good. A24 is probably going to be pushing it, I feel like, for Oscars. So could be good. Could be good. Or it could be like Old Boy, where it is very disappointing. Although I know that's one movie, Marv, you and I disagree on, like the remake of Old Boy.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, you haven't seen the original, but I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, Substance is outstanding. I agree. That's one that I think that's probably one of the bigger films of the last couple of years that you and I disagree on, Marv. And that's something that maybe I should have undersold it, because when I saw it, I was like, Marv's gonna eat it up. Like, just it's women, it's it's body horror, it's funny, it's disturbing, it's unforgettable imagery.
I mean, I get why people like it. I just, it didn't move the needle for me that much. I don't hate it. I watched it the next day.
Yeah, you've seen it at this point. You've probably seen it more times than me, which is kind of crazy because I love the film.
Maybe 2 or 3 times. I think just 2 times though.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen it 5 or 6 times.
No, I wasn't watching it that many times.
That's one of those films that if I know a friend that hasn't seen it, I'm like, all right, we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna watch this. Let's go. Joe, Mark gave Madam Web 10 out of 10. Opinions are opinions.
I never gave Madam Web 10 out of 10. I gave the movie a 0 out of 10. I hate that movie.
Marv, you got to that might be one that you rewatch and you like.
No, it's okay. I'm okay. That movie sucks.
Film Kid, Thunderbolts was good, and that's coming from a Marvel hater. Oh wow. See, I'm not even a Marvel hater. I feel very.
You are very much a Marvel hater. We're going to just keep
Marvel hater.
You are a Marvel hater. You actually said out of your mouth that you want it all to stop when Avengers Doomsday was announced. I remember you were upset. You were mad that they announced it. I was
because
so happy.
I thought, it's not that when they announced that. It was more so when Robert Downey Jr. was announced as Dr. Doom. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was people pranking in the comment section. I'm like, oh wow, this is funny. Like, haha. And then my phone started buzzing, and I'm like, looking at my friends who we always send each other like links and everything. And when I saw those, I'm like, why? Like that was just my knee-jerk reaction. Of course, am I going to see it probably opening day? Yeah, of course I'm going to see it opening day.
Are you? Because you've been trying to pass them off to the library a lot these days.
Captain America 4, yes.
No. This one, you were not going to go see Thunderbolts unless I went.
That's true. You are right about that.
So I guess you're not going to go see Fantastic Four, are you?
If you want to see it, I will see it.
Exactly. That's my point. So you had no plans on seeing Doomsday or Secret Wars.
No. Those I am curious about because they have such a huge cast, and they're not going to be affected by the pandemic. So it's not going to be like Spider-Man No Way Home or some of the other ones that we mentioned, where it's very clear that they were rushing production and they were filming during a pandemic. So there was just a lot of scenes that already aged poorly, like when we're watching it in the theater. So I shudder to think about people that have to watch it 5-10 years from now, because it's going to be like, oh wow, it's like watching I don't know, like Spy Kids or something, where it's like, yikes, this is not good. But I don't think I'm a Marvel hater. I really like Avengers Endgame. I like Infinity War, Black Panther 1 and 2. I really like
Civil War.
Civil War, I think, is rock solid.
Winter Soldier.
I like that one.
First Avenger.
I liked it as a teenager. I haven't rewatched it since, but at the time I liked it.
That's strike one. The
What?
first
I said I liked it at the time. I saw
uh,
it twice in theaters in 2011.
Avengers 1.
I am not gonna lie, I liked it. I saw it 4 times in theaters, but I rewatched it 5 years ago, and I think it's okay.
Strike 2. Okay.
I said it
Strike.
was okay. I didn't hate it.
The first Iron Man.
Yeah, I like it.
Captain Marvel.
It's okay. You're gonna
I
give me
know.
a strike for giving Captain Marvel an
No,
okay
no.
rating?
Because you're about to say it, whatever, but you caught yourself. You didn't want to get another strike.
No, I mean I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's okay. It exists. It's all right.
Hold on. Incredible Hulk.
I do enjoy it. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Was Doctor Strange 1?
Eh,
I'm giving you 2 strikes for that. That's my favorite one.
you're giving me 2 strikes for that?
Yeah, 2 strikes. 2 strikes for that one, man.
My goodness,
Age
it's
of Ultron.
okay.
Age of Ultron.
You can give me 5 strikes for that one. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that
Okay. What else? Ant-Man 1 and 2, not 3.
one. Yeah, is there? Dude, when we were talking about it with Sergey earlier, is there 3 or 4 Ant-Mans? I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know at this point.
There's 3 of those.
Oh, okay, so Quantumania, that was terrible. Ant-Man 1 and 2, they're okay. They're enjoyable movies in the moment, but an hour later, I forgot about them. If you put a gun to my head and said, "What does one?" Like,
This
what
sounds like
happened
a
to one?
person who does not love these movies.
No, it's.
What about the Guardians movies? This is going to really bring this home.
Oh my goodness. The first one, I liked it when I saw it in theaters. I haven't seen it since.
Strike.
How's that a strike? I said I enjoyed it in theaters. I just haven't seen it in 11 years.
Which means that you didn't care for it.
No, it just means I haven't really thought about it.
Which means you didn't like it that much.
No, that's not what it means. I'm pretty sure if you don't Letterboxd, I gave it.
If you haven't thought about it, that means that it didn't make enough of an impression.
I mean, that doesn't mean I think it's bad, though.
I didn't say you thought it was bad. I'm just saying you don't care about these movies like that.
Well, yeah, but you're making it sound like I'm a Marvel hater. I'm not a Marvel hater.
You are, but it's okay.
I'm not. Because if we're going on the
it.
DC front, a movie like Wonder Woman, I haven't seen it since theaters. It doesn't mean I thought it was a bad movie. It just means I thought it was solid. Only seen it one time. Yeah. Guardians 2. I will say Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I am not a fan of.
Another strike right there.
You can give me a strike for that one. I think I gave that one a 2 out of 5. Guardians 3 I liked. I did enjoy that one. I think I gave it a 3.25 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
Hold up, can you tell me if you saw Ant-Man 3 in IMAX or not?
No, Ant-Man 3 I saw just regular screen.
Oh, that probably, like, I would love to know what it was like to see an IMAX or Dolby at Neshaminy. I wonder if that like helped the experience at all, but you can't tell me.
No, I can't. I mean, Quantumania, that was a terrible experience for me. It was agonizing.
Why? I
mean,
I don't like it either, but I didn't see it in theaters, so I don't. Disney.
You're
Plus.
not missing. Yeah, I mean, you weren't missing out. I mean, I think
I wanted to see Kang in IMAX, man.
I mean, I think Jonathan Majors is good. I think he's one of the few bright spots in that movie, but I think for the most part, it's a movie that suffers from just really bad filmmaking. I can enjoy something if the filmmaking is competent, but the filmmaking was just not good. I mean, the score was like really, really forgettable. The cinematography was honestly.
I didn't mind the score, believe it or not. I didn't mind it. I did not mind it at all. That wasn't my problem with the movie. The cinematography is not good, but I think that's more what
Visual effects are
horrid.
Really bad.
Yeah, they are horrid.
Really bad.
Horrid visual effects, yeah.
Also, the last 10 minutes with what it was trying to do, I just thought it fell flat on its face. It's a prime example of how this recent phase is the wheel spinning.
The last 2 phases, it's not just 4 and 5 have both sucked.
Yeah, but I feel like this kind of solidified it for me, which is why I feel like after that I just really wasn't excited for a lot of MCU movies. So I feel like a grumpy old man, but I'm still willing to give them a chance. I mean, dude, I've been following the MCU since 2010.
Have you been
Have you been watching the shows too?
Uh, no, I fell out, to be honest with you.
So you never saw WandaVision?
No, I saw early on. I saw like WandaVision. I saw the first season of Loki. I saw the first 2 episodes of Moon Knight.
Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I did see Falcon and Winter Soldier. Um,
Hawkeye?
I did see Hawkeye. I mean,
Did,
you know how I feel about you know.
but did you like these shows?
I think they were okay. I didn't really have that many thoughts about them, other than I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought that the idea of a Captain America that's like morally gray, I thought that was fascinating. Curious to see him in Thunderbolts, honestly.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I'll just say Bucky is awesome.
I do
Uh,
like Bucky. I think he's a great actor too. Sebastian Stan is, I feel like, underrated.
yeah.
By the way, we'll go from Sinners to we'll talk about the Dark. We're talking about superhero films, so we will talk about the Dark Knight trilogy in just a second. But first, let us catch up with some of the comments. Film Kid also asks, "Has Marv seen Waves?" I can speak for you, Marv. Here, Marv has not, but ironically, Trey Edward Schultz's next film, Marv and I are seeing together. The film, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Same director that did Waves.
Mm.
Waves is great. Film Kids has it in his top 20, and honestly, I respect that because it is a great film. Film Kid, The Mandela Catalog was the short that I DM'd you. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, to be honest with you. I'll try to watch it soon. Joe, gonna watch Thunderbolts this weekend. I pre-ordered my Lilo and Stitch tickets. Dude, nice. Marv can fact check me. I just put a hold on the original Lilo and Stitch at my local library, so I'll be watching it for the first time, the original, and then I might see it in theaters. The remake, reimagining, I'm not sure yet. We'll see, but I will finally watch the original because of this remake coming out. Godzilla, I like Thunderbolts as well. A solid 3 out of 5 for me on first watch. I feel like it could get better for me on repeat viewings. Oh, that's awesome to hear. I'm glad to hear that people are really, enjoying it. Can't articulate Thunderbolts was good in my opinion. This is good. See, yeah, a lot of people seem to be liking it. Film Kid, you might not be able to find the DM though because I had to deactivate my film Instagram account. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Anthony A. Perez is in the chat. What's up, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, as always, good to hear from you, man. We still got to do a live stream together pretty soon. Always good to hear from Anthony. Be sure to subscribe to his channel, everyone. Joe, Marv, you need to watch Daredevil Reborn series. Awesome stuff. I think, Marv, you've seen that series, right?
I have not watched the new season just because I haven't finished. I think it was season 3, so I have to go back and finish that, and then I'm gonna watch Born Again. But I want to watch it though. The only reason
Season
I
3.
haven't is because the only reason I haven't is because I haven't seen it. Actually, I have to see that, and I have to watch the Defenders as well. I wanna do it the right way.
I never saw The Defenders. I heard it was decent, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch all of that before I get into Born Again. I mean, I could watch Born Again and just go back and watch all that stuff. I probably could. A part of me wants to because I want to watch it so bad. But I want to do it the right way. I think it might feel better if I go back and just watch it like that.
Oh, 100%. Also, Joe says, if you're a Marvel fan, I'll go with you, Marv, for Doomsday. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Like Marv knows, I'm gonna watch it in theaters, and I think it's gonna be a good theater experience. I'm just nervous because when we went up to 2019, there was a clear path to that film, and there was like such a big buildup. I just feel like we haven't really gotten that buildup. There's been a lot of standalone movies that they haven't necessarily built up the characters so much as trying to build up like these worlds in a way that just doesn't really feel organic. I feel like, at least.
Well,
Um,
I'm hoping. So according to, if I'm going by Grace's pitch, because Grace kind of laid out what like it could be about, not what it will be, but just kind of like the outline that she gathered from the comic book. basically Doomsday is going to be like the first half of the Secret Wars comic book, and then Secret Wars is going to be the movie Secret Wars is going to be the second half. And how it starts is you know that they had Kang, but you know they had the torpedo that whole idea. So then they brought in Doctor Doom, and he's going to take the multiverses are all like broken, so he comes together, he brings them together, and he becomes God Emperor Doom. And I guess she said by the end of Doomsday he will be God Emperor Doom, and then in the movie Secret Wars, that's when all the Avengers will be on Battle World, and that's so in a way, I guess Thunderbolts is the start of this new process, like that build up. I guess they're building up to that.
So that's like the beginning of the buildup, and then you think Fantastic Four is going to be kind of like the pivot to that. Do you
So
think?
all right, so I'll break it down this way. Do you remember Thor and Captain America when they came out, and then we had Avengers after that?
Yeah,
I mean, follow that. Like in Thunder and Thor, you have you know how that relationship to the Avengers movie is Loki, how he's going to be the villain
yes,
of right, and then you have
and
and
all the power that Asgard has. I mean, all the artifacts, which is
yeah.
huge buildup.
Yeah, and then you had Captain America, which then led you to present day, and it showed you Nick Fury and Shield and whatever, right? And then the next summer we got Avengers. I think it might be something like that. And once you see Thunderbolts, you will understand why it kind of fits into that mold. Actually, matter of fact, no, I don't want to spoil anything, but you'll see tomorrow what I'm talking about. I'll just say that much. You'll see tomorrow.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, that has me excited.
Because this movie and the next movie is going to roll right into it. So hopefully they get back on course, building it up.
I hope so. Especially at this point where I'm like, I'm locked in. Like this is 30 plus movies. I'm locked in at this point. Like I'm in for the long haul. Film Kid Chat has to watch Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four before Doomsday. I definitely will. I mean, if I don't see Fantastic Four with Marv, I'm sure I'll watch it probably in theaters. It really depends on with what's out at that time.
See, do you guys hear this?
I'm not hating on it.
Just make it a priority, dude. What happened to the old
I've
fans?
only seen the animated show Fantastic Four, and
So what?
I've seen the Fantastic Four movies, like the originals, and I didn't like them. In fact,
But
even as a kid,
these are different movies.
no, I know. I don't really have that much excitement for them. I don't know. Maybe after Thunderbolts, I'll feel differently.
Oh gosh,
I just feel burnt.
you guys hear it right.
I just
Um,
feel burnt. Can't articulate. I'm with you. Ant-Man 3 probably the worst MCU film I've seen. I
no,
think
that's
I
Cap
gotta
4.
agree with this.
Cap 4 is the worst MC movie ever made. I hate it.
I I mean, I'll let you know once I watch it. I don't know when it's gonna come in at the library, but whenever it does, I'll definitely watch it ASAP. Film Kid says I'm gonna go because I can finish my movie. Film Kid, cheers, good to hear from you. Can't articulate, Chad. I didn't know Carol was just a masterpiece. Super great film. Oh yeah, dude, I love that film. It turns 10 this year, and I'll never forget Christmas of 2015. Going to the movies, 70-degree weather, and I went to the theater to see that film on Christmas Day, and it was such a depressing experience, but like also such a satisfying experience. Like that film, it makes me feel so many different emotions. It's a great film. I'm looking forward to rewatching it on Christmas this year, which I probably will. I'll probably do a doubleheader of two Christmas. It's going to be a dark Christmas, Marv. It's going to be Carol, and it's going to be Girl with Dragon Tattoo. That's what's up. But I'm looking forward to rewatching Carol, and I'm glad that Can't Articulate that you enjoyed it. Bootzilla says, "See a film, kid." Also, since we're talking about the MCU, let's switch gears to the DC. So the Sinners poll wasn't the only one I did. I did a poll that got even more votes, 60 votes, which is your favorite, which is Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, or Love Them All Equally. Now, I know Marv's answer. Yours is Batman Begins, right? Like you,
Mm-hmm.
100%. That's your favorite of the three.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair. I I agree with the poll. I mean, The Dark Knight. It's not even just my favorite of the trilogy. It's one of my favorite films of all time. That being said, I do love Batman Begins. I do love The Dark Knight Rises. I recently rewatched The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, and they both hold up. Some people are going to ask me why I didn't watch Batman Begins on the rewatch, and that's because it's the 20-year anniversary, so I suspect that it's going to get a theater release, and in which case, if that happens, I'm going to see it in theaters. So I really do believe that it's going to happen. I mean, Kingdom of Heaven's getting a re-release, Brokeback Mountain. So I think Batman Begins, one of the big films of 2005, is also going to have it
You know that
happen.
we can't even see Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah, I know, because it's a one-day showing, and it's the same time we're seeing Hurry Up Tomorrow.
That
I
oh
know
well.
it stinks because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe we could see Hurry Up Tomorrow another day. But the problem is, Hurry Up Tomorrow is not going to be in Dolby, from what I understand. So that means that day is the only time we're going to get to see it in Dolby, which is probably going to be the best way to experience it because it's a very music heavy film. It's the weekend, so it's probably going to be the best possible way to watch it. So yeah, but this was a fun poll to do. I was very surprised to see how neck and neck Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises were in regards to the poll. But even more so, I was not expecting it to be like a 60% of people saying The Dark Knight. I mean, I'm happy, don't get me wrong, because I love The Dark Knight, but I was like, wow, like, I guess just because of my inner circle, there's always people I talk to where it's like, oh, I love Batman Begins. And then it's like, oh, I love The Dark Knight Rises. And it's like, what about The Dark Knight? And then, people are like, no, Dark Knight Rises or Batman Begins. Is that the case with you too, Marv? Like in your inner circle, like people are more so leaning towards Batman Begins or The Dark Knight Rises, or
I think people kind of like just jump them all together. Um, from what I can understand, people love those Batman movies. They
yeah,
love Bane. They love the Joker. They miss Christian Bale. Um,
yeah, he was great.
my brother doesn't even acknowledge Robert Pattinson. He says, "I miss Christian Bale."
Him and Warner Brothers both.
Yeah, he doesn't. My brother hates the new Batman. He does not like it at all. He's not the only one. I've heard that. I keep telling you, I hear it all the time now. And did you hear the news?
Yeah, it might not be getting a sequel.
Well, if it does happen, it ain't with Matt Reeves. He's something wrong with his health. He's he's he can't do it.
The problem is that James Gunn is going to be catapulting a new universe, and I think that even though the Batman was a pretty big success, I think that they're going to be leaning more towards the Batman rendition of whatever it is that James Gunn's going to be doing.
Yeah,
So
it just makes sense. I know James Gunn said it could be an Elseworld story, but the problem with that is that hold on. Mm. Ugh. Oh
yeah,
damn.
you don't want to confuse people. And I feel like that's what it would do.
I definitely feel that way too. But he said it could be an Elseworld story, but the problem is that mass audiences, general audiences can't tell the difference. They don't know the difference. They don't know or care to know at that, and it just won't go. It won't go over well. I never saw that working. I always thought that it sounded stupid. I was I'm a I know you don't like Grace, but Grace said it herself. She was like, I just don't get it. She was like, DC doesn't have. They're trying to have a concrete plan, but this is not concrete. You have to just go ahead and just, if you're going to reboot it, you have to go full reboot. And I agree.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Not that I know a lot of times people treat I mean, don't get me wrong, politics and art, they're interwoven, but I know a lot of people treat Marvel and DC as like a politics type thing where it's like you're either one or the other. I'm in the middle. I can appreciate Marvel films, I can appreciate DC films, but the MCU for the longest time, it was very clear there was a plan in place. There were some detours for sure, but for the most part, you could tell there was a plan.
Hmm.
The DC, on the other hand, it's always been one of those things where it's like they're just firing a machine gun and hoping that they hit something. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh wow, we landed a hit. Okay, now what? Now what do we do? And I know James Gunn. probably is taking influence from the MCU formula. But the problem is that he's falling into a lot of the trappings that we've seen in other failed franchises. He's stuffing so many different superheroes in this new Superman movie, and it's like it's going to be the Amazing Spider-Man 2 all over it again. It might be a very entertaining film. It could be, but to introduce Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Superman, Crypto. Who else am I missing? There's a lot of superheroes in it. It's a lot. Like,
I know that it hasn't tested well. I've been told that a bunch of times. Grace said it. The douchebag Jeff Snyder said it. A lot of people have said it. They've said that they have not heard good things because they had that first really good trailer that everybody liked, but ever since then it's been cold, like nothing. And then like people have started to hear things from test screenings, and it's not good. And it's not, you got to take it with a grain of salt because it's not like you would have heard how bad it was if it was like nuclear bad, but
yeah.
it's, from what I understand, it's just not good. Like it doesn't work. Not like as Dark Phoenix. It's just the movie just doesn't work. From That's what I heard so far. Remember, take it with a grain of salt. But when they put together the two and two, how the marketing has slowed down and we're like less than 2 months out, that is concerning. Because like, where is the next trailer at? Like where is the like Warner Brothers is pushing out everything else but that, and that's next up in line. So
Mm-hmm.
that it
And
definitely
it's an
sounds
expensive film too. Like it's really expensive.
yeah. But where is the second trailer? Where is
They
it?
released. I know they released like a sizzle reel. I think
A
because I think it's
sneak
premiering
peek,
at
just
CinemaCon.
a sneak peek. That's all it was, and it was like 4 minutes. It was nothing, and it didn't. I mean, not that it didn't go over well, but it was more like there's just been like you get the feeling like something's wrong, and I've been around long enough to know that where there's smoke, there's fire. So there might be like with Cap 4. I knew Cap 4 was going to be trash. You know what I'm saying? Like you could just tell. There was no real buzz behind it. You could feel it. With
Well,
this,
and Mark, you want to know my theory?
hmm,
So my theory is this: I think that the reason why they haven't yet officially announced that the Batman 2 is canceled is because they're waiting to see how Superman does. If
mhm.
Superman is a success, if it's really big, I think that they will cancel the Batman Part 2. Just
Yeah.
done deal. If Superman does not test well, I think that they are going to scrap that whole idea of planning several movies to do a franchise, and they're going to focus on what they know was a success, which was the Batman, and they're going to make like a second and a third.
Yeah, I can see
That's
that.
my
Yeah.
take. I think that they are they're playing it very close to the chest. I feel like.
But they already have Supergirl filming. Supergirl is filming. So
That's a good point. You do make a good point about that. I didn't think about that.
yeah, that's been holding for, you know what I'm saying. So unless David Zaslav's 302's that movie and locks it up like he did,
Oh gosh, yeah, like Batgirl.
yeah, it could happen.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, again, I know it sounds like I'm being
I
very
want to point out though, if this movie does flop or it's a disaster, I want to just want to remind you, I said it here first. I did. I called it.
no, and for the record, I'm not disagreeing with you. In fact, I'm agreeing with you because I do think that there's a lot of alarming signs. I mean, I'm a huge Superman fan. Even when I saw the trailer, not that the trailer is like the end all be all, but when I watched the trailer, I was like, okay, and I went along with my day. When I saw the Man of Steel trailer, I was like ecstatic. I was like, holy cow, this looks amazing. And I rewatched the trailer recently, and I'm like, yeah, this is one of the best trailers I've ever seen. That's not a hyperbole either. It
Yeah,
is an incredible trailer.
yeah, I remember those days. Those are good days.
It's a great trailer, man.
That's back when trailers meant something. That's back when trailers like really like got you excited. I don't know what's happening these days.
They're showing a lot of stuff. They're showing the money shots, and then people are expecting that, and then it kind of
Oh, on
ruins
a
some of the
quick
fun.
side note, did you see the speaking of good trailers, did you see the Conjuring 4 trailer?
I did with Nicolette because one of the things I don't think I told you this, but one of the things that when her and I first started dating, like 9 years ago, as of May 4th, one of the first movies that we saw together was The Conjuring 1, and then we saw the second one in theaters. Like, she had never seen the first Conjuring, and she likes jump scare horror. So, I was like, hey, Conjuring, one of the best jump scare horror films. And then we saw the second in theaters, and I showed her the trailer, and I'm like, yeah, you want to see the fourth one in theaters? She's like, wait, isn't there a third one? I'm like, yeah, we saw it in theaters. We both really didn't like it. She's like, oh, I forgot about it. I'm like, yeah, me too. But I think the trailer looks all right. I mean, I really miss James Wan, man. I really do. Like, I think his touch is severely lacking. What did you think though of the trailer?
I can't wait. I think it's going to be a smash. I think it's going to be a big hit, dude.
Really?
I think it's going to be a hit. Like, I think it could be like Halloween level.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
think
be against that because I do like the first two Conjuring films.
I think because they've been gone for a while. I think that might, you know, I just think that it might really be a really big hit. Like I can see it being like a massive hit. Like I think
Yeah.
Final Destination is going to be awesome. I think a lot of people want to see that movie. I could foresee 50 million next weekend for that. It's on track for 40. I think we can do 50.
I mean, I have been seeing people I follow on Letterboxd that have seen it early. They have said that it's the best Final Destination. So
Really? I'm
yeah,
the directors who made it. They this is I think this is their first or second film,
I
and
think it's second. Yeah.
they won the job because they said they loved the series so much where they pitched their heart out, and they said you guys wanted this badly, go ahead and make it. Well, you guys do it. You guys love it so much, which I
Let
thought was
me. I'm
which I
going to
thought was
quickly read a review too because I think you'll really like it. I was thinking about you when I saw this. Where is it? 1 second. Let me quickly look it up. Um. So the review is by someone named Jaron, who I don't want to say collaborate with, but I did a live stream with a long time ago as a part of like a separate channel. And he said, as a longtime fan of this franchise, this is probably the best Final Destination yet. Doesn't hold back on the big bombastic set pieces and grotesque kills that made the original films iconic, but it also applies a larger focus than ever on creating genuinely emotional stakes, letting scenes breathe to build tension, set up payoff gags, visual flair, and practical effects. The editing and sound editing remain as strong as ever. Also, this will be the best reviewed film in the franchise, undoubtedly, and I hope it will kick off a renaissance for Final Destination, continuing with more passionate horror filmmaking. I'm not gonna lie, when I read that review, I was just like, okay. I mean, if it's the best one, I mean, I've only seen the first one. I wasn't really a fan, which is a shame because I think the concept's interesting, but the execution of the first one, I was just like, eh. So if this one is the best, I mean, I'm definitely down for new talent.
and it's an IMAX.
Yeah, it's true. See, the problem though is I'm going to be down the shore next week, so I'm not even going to get to see it. And then the following week, we have the new Mission Impossible, and we have Friendship going wide. So
Yeah,
I don't know if we get to see it on
I'm
IMAX.
I'm going to see. I'm going to try to do a Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible double feature.
I'm excited for Mission Impossible.
I won't be able to see Mission Impossible in IMAX though, which sucks. It really does suck.
Oh, by the way, where is it? So Bootzilla says I have Thor: The Dark World as worst MC movie on my MC ranking. Letterboxd Captain 4 is second from bottom. Oh wow. Okay. Bootzilla, I voted Batman Begins. I realized Dark Knight is probably better overall, but Batman Begins is the only one in the trilogy that felt like it was a Batman movie. That's fair. I can definitely understand that. Bootzilla, Marv, not Marvel, the autocorrect again. Bootzilla. Oh, this is an interesting take. Superman marketing seems to be more about James Gunn's ego than
Mm-hmm.
the actual movie. I hope it's good, but don't have much confidence so far.
Yeah,
Honestly, this
I
is a
think
pretty good take.
it is a great take because I've been saying that all along, Chad. I've been saying that, man, from his presentation of his phase one, everything about it just reeks of like a egotistical project, and I hate it. No, no, not a virtue project. I'm sorry, a vanity project. That's what I meant to say. I
Yeah,
is it, Chad, if you go back and like listen to his interviews, just watch it all. It just comes across as like Like he just has like not. I don't want to say smug because I'm not. James Gunn doesn't seem like a bad guy.
No,
He just
no, he seems
it
pretty chill, honestly.
yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy. The problem is he has the tendency like to think that he's bigger than he is, and it gets him into trouble. That's why he got in trouble on Twitter because he's always like talking like and just getting just like. Did you know that he allegedly he said that the Dark Knight trilogy is not good? Yeah, allegedly, mind you, allegedly he said this.
I
Remember,
want to see those tweets.
you have to look him up. But that's why I said allegedly. But it's stuff on the internet about it. Like everybody loves him, so nobody brings this stuff up. But if you like pay attention, you'll find it. And I just don't like it. And then I go to like every time somebody asks him about superhero movies, he's like the spokesperson for them. I'm like, dude, who do you think you are?
By the way, Film Kid says I just finished Bottle Rocket. Dude, that's awesome. What'd you think about it on a rewatch? Also, Bootzilla says I liked the Long Walk trailer. I didn't know anything about it, but after seeing trailer, I'm looking forward to it. It's funny. My old supervisor reached out to me and asked me my thoughts on it, and I was like, I saw the poster, I didn't see the trailer, and he told me the premise and how it's about people that have to like walk, otherwise they're gonna die. And I'm like, oh, so basically it means you and I would survive because him and I we would always do a lot of walking. You know, when we weren't working.
That's what our stream is about. We're talking about comic book movies.
Film Kid, tomorrow I'm planning to watch Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, and Darjeeling Limited. Dude, nice. I rewatched all those recently, and they all hold up really well. I actually method viewed Fantastic Mr. Fox. I had vegan donuts, I had chicken, and what was the third thing? What's the third thing? 1 second.
What the? Come on, son.
1 second, Film Kid. I'm drawing a blank. This is why I'm glad I write things down. 1 second. Chicken, gingerbread donuts, and apple juice. That was the third thing to represent 3 farmers and how they all have different foods. So it's a great method viewing experience, honestly. Joe says, nice Marv on double feature. Yeah, he's going to have a good time, man. Joe, do you think you'll be watching the new Mission Impossible? I don't think we've talked about Mission Impossible, but I think it's a pretty consistent franchise. Actually, I think it's gotten better with each entry. Film Kid says, I really enjoyed it, and it is really underrated. Yeah, really good debut film, too. Film Kid, what's your thoughts on my West ranking? I'm curious what you would think of it. I actually haven't seen your ranking. Let me quickly go on Letterboxd to see. Quickly go on Letterboxd. The problem with following too many people is that sometimes reviews get on the wayside, or in this case, ranking videos. Because I'm following over 300 people on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I don't know that many people in real life.
But to be fair, when I do, on YouTube when I talk about stuff, I usually also will say like, don't forget to follow me on Letterboxd. So I'll get requests and everything. I don't necessarily know them, but usually what I'll do is, not everybody, but usually what I'll do is, if someone follows me on Letterboxd, I don't follow them back if I don't know them. I wait a couple of days to see if they're fishing for followers or if they're genuinely want to actually follow like what I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, there's not too many, but other people can tell you on Letterboxd. There will be people that follow you, and then you go to follow them, and the next day they're no longer friends with you. And it's like, what did I do? And it's like, you didn't do anything. It's just they were literally fishing for followers. Just comes with the territory. All right, I see Film Kids list, 16 lists, Wes Anderson ranking. Oh, ours are very similar. Grand Budapest Hotel, that's my number 1. That's yours as well. Fantastic Mr. Fox is your number 2. That's also my number 2. Royal Tenenbaums is your number 3. French Dispatch number 4, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou number 5, Bottle Rocket number 6, Rushmore number 7, Moonrise Kingdom number 8, Asteroid City number 9. Holy cow! And Isle of Dogs number 10 and Darjeeling Limited number 11. Oh wow, yeah. I mean, we definitely have different lists because Asteroid City I actually really like quite a bit actually. Wasn't as big of a fan of it on first viewing, but it got better for me on multiple viewings. And Marv, which have you seen any Wes Anderson films? I don't think we've talked really about Wes Anderson. I know you're not a big fan of him, but I don't think we've talked about if you've seen any.
The Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh, is that the only one you've seen?
Yeah, that one and first and last. First and last, buddy.
When was the last time you saw it?
Years ago. I was probably like 8, 9.
Honestly, I think if you were to watch it now, I think you would appreciate it much more.
I will not. It's not even about appreciate it. I can watch it and be like, I can see what it's going for here. I can understand that. I know it wasn't for me back then, and it's not for me now. I'm okay. I don't want no parts of Wes Anderson. None.
I'll tell you a little story. Moonrise Kingdom, I saw. Let's see, 2013. And when I saw it, I thought it was okay, but I really wasn't a big fan of the style. Like, I'm like, why is every shot just center framed? Are the shots just slowly moving? Like, why? What is this? But I couldn't get that out of my mind. And so a couple years later, I rewatched it and I liked it much more. So I feel like between the ages of 8, 9, and now that you're over 30, I feel like you've changed a lot. So I feel like you probably would like it better.
I know myself, dude. I would not like that movie. It's not even about like
I think
I'm not even giving it.
What we'll do is I'm gonna get you to take an edible. We'll put on a Wes Anderson film.
That'll
We'll
make it worse. I don't want to watch that while I'm fried. No,
dude,
Jesus.
it's awesome. It literally most people will tell you that.
You know what I'd rather watch on an edible on a 500 gram, 600 gram.
600 gram.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to have a seizure?
I'm Michael Bay speaks to me. Wes Anderson.
No. If I were to do Michael Bay, I would do Ambulance.
No, that wouldn't be it. That's not one for me to get the high to. No.
600 gram is though 600 gram.
Yeah, I'll break it down. I can do Bad Boys. I can do 600 gram Bad Boys 2, and Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain would be a good one. I do agree with you about that. Pain and Gain would be a good one.
I would probably even do. I was about to say 13 Hours, but no, that's too sad.
Holy cow, that would be anxiety inducing.
I could do it, but it's just too sad. It's too somber.
Transformers: Dark of the Moon. That would be a good one.
Yeah, I would do that one too. I would actually probably do all of those. No, I'm not all of his Transformers. I would probably do on an edible. No cap.
You'd probably make Revenge of the Fallen better.
As much as that movie is bad, and I can see that it's bad now, I still hold that those movies were like they're easy to make fun of now. When they came out, they were like huge. And I remember those were great experiences for me growing up. Like seeing Revenge of the Fallen in theaters was like next level to me. Like I still remember that. Not a good movie, but just the visual experience of me being a teenager going to go see a movie like that. Like that was kind of like how my dad went to go see Indiana Jones and Star Wars and stuff like that. That's how I felt watching those movies.
I will also I'll piggybacking off that. I will say, even though I didn't see it in theaters, I do have good experiences with Revenge of the Fallen. Like I watched it with friends. We had a good time watching it, and also I like it. This is going to be a hot take, and I know you're going to hate me for saying this. I like it much more than like Bumblebee, Transformers. What was the one that just came out? Not the animated one. There was another one. I like it much more than Transformers 4 or 5. Yeah, that one. I like it much better than that one. Yeah, even though I'm not a big fan of it.
Everybody does. What are you talking about? You never met nobody. You'd have listen, you don't like Bumblebee, right? A lot of people did love Bumblebee, right? But
yeah,
but you don't even see Bumblebee even played anywhere. Nobody even watches Bumblebee. I think people forgot about it, to be honest with you.
I gave it a second chance. I still felt the same way. And I
still like it. I like it a lot. But I admit it's been forgotten about in the public. People don't even remember that movie. If I'd be like, yo, you ever seen Bumblebee? What? It's just a movie that's been forgotten about. That's all it is to it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is an off-topic question, but my boy Anthony A. Perez says, "How many slices of deli meat do you put on your sandwich on average?" I know it's off-topic, but I need help settling a
6.
debate. 6.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, Marv is the go-to person to ask about this because you're gonna hate me for saying this, Anthony, but I do not use deli meat. Marv knows this. I'm like a health nut, so if you see me with a deli meat sandwich, it means I'm either high or I have been get out where someone's taken my brain and I'm in the sunken place, one or the other. But I used to eat deli sandwiches as like a young kid. I used to like deli sandwiches. Now, do I every now and then indulge in like a Wawa sandwich? Yeah, but I I don't use deli meat. I'll usually use like ground beef or something like that. But good question though. I like that question. I haven't heard that before. Film kid, my parents absolutely hate Wes Anderson movies because the only one they've seen is The Life Aquatic, but I'm glad that this new movie is PG-13, so I can go alone. Honestly, My Life Aquatic is probably I like it a lot, but it's probably a bad introduction to Wes Anderson. I feel like a good introduction is his claymation films. I would say like Isle of Dogs or Fantastic Mr. Fox because they're really quirky, but they're not like so quirky like Life Aquatic or Moonrise Kingdom, something like that. But I understand he's not for everyone, but I do appreciate his vision, and I'm very excited that his new film is coming out around my birthday. Marv, you're more than welcome to join me with.
I'm not watching that. You know I'm not.
I was just throwing it out there.
No.
I'm excited though. Bootzilla, I'm not a big fan of Wes either. Only film of his I really like is Grand Budapest Hotel. I am the criterion for that one. Same. I love Grand Budapest Hotel. That's in my top 10 of all time. A work of art. I watch it every year on my birthday. It's awesome. Actually, this year I'm probably going to watch it twice because Memorial Day weekend, I think I'm going to rewatch it, and then 2 weeks later is my birthday, so I'm probably going to rewatch it again. Anthony Perez 6. Yes, Marv is the man. That he is. My friend is calling me a lunatic. My friend said 1 to 2 maximum. I mean, look, as someone that doesn't eat deli sandwiches, 1 to 2 is kind of crazy. Like, you're not even really eating a sandwich, I feel like. You're just eating bread. Or am I crazy, Marv?
Hold on 1 second. Let me get back to you. All right. Now ask me the question again.
I feel like 1 to 2 slices. I feel like you're not even really eating a sandwich. You're just eating bread.
Yeah.
It's like, oh look, there's a little bit of meat here.
Yeah, I like to do 6 to 8 pieces of buffalo chicken.
Honestly, that's really good protein too.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I'm gonna actually have to walk to Wawa because I'm running out. I gotta leave the rest for my dad, so now I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, tomorrow when we hang out, looking forward to it because we're gonna eat so much protein. We're gonna be.
What do you mean by this?
What
do you mean by this?
I mean, we're gonna have a lot of protein. I have a bunch like chicken. I don't know. Maybe we'll make sandwiches, not deli sandwiches, but maybe we'll make sandwiches. It's gonna be a good time.
Can we get Subway instead?
Subway?
Yeah.
I'm just aged 10 years just from thinking about eating Subway. I mean, Subway's not bad. Kevin, he loves Subway. Like, that's his bread and butter.
I used to eat Subway every day at one point. I used to eat Subway every day. Subway and Annie Ann's every day, all summer long.
Dude, I haven't had Annie Ann's in a long time. Like, I would say maybe a decade plus. But I remember their pretzels being good.
The pretzels are very good.
Film Kid says, are you going to see Dogma in theaters? Me? No. I thought Dogma was all right. Marv, are you a fan of... I know you're a fan of Kevin Smith, like myself. Are you a fan of Dogma or no?
Never saw Dogma.
Really?
Mm-mm. I haven't seen all of his movies.
I have.
I'm not sure
I've
if I
seen.
I'm not sure if I want to like Dogma, Mallrats. Haven't seen those. Um, but I love Kevin Smith though. Kevin Smith, I would say Kevin Smith, Michael Bay, Quentin Tarantino, Nolan, John Singleton, Judd Apatow. Those are like my filmmaking influences.
Speaking of John Singleton, be on the lookout. In 3 hours, my John Singleton ranking is going to be dropping.
No,
Stay tuned for that.
I will definitely look into that. Um, Obviously, I feel like he has to be in there just on principle, but he definitely with his movies, his stories are so inspiring to me because if you ever listen to how he made Boys in the Hood, he told Sony to their face like, "We want to make this movie." He wrote it, and somebody had passed it along, and well, if we want to buy this off. He says, "Well, I'm not selling it." They was like, "We'll pay this." Like, no, I'm not selling it. I have to direct this movie. It has to be mine. And they said, "Well, we thought about getting somebody else to do it." Well, he said, "We're going to have to end this meeting." And they said, "All right, you can do it." And they let him do it in his old neighborhood. I was like, "That's so fire." And
And
Boys in the Hood is
and it
such
paid
a
off. It paid off because I mean he was. I think he still is the youngest director to get nominated for best director.
yeah, 21, I believe he was.
He was young. It was definitely young. I think it was 23, 25, something like that. But still, I mean that's unprecedented. Like that doesn't happen.
It
So
doesn't happen, and I thought that was so dope, and he did such a good job. He was able to capture such a real feeling. He painted a picture for in that movie. Like if you turn on that movie, you're getting something authentic and somebody's vision, poetic justice. Uh, I love Baby Boy is a classic. Four Brothers, I love. Uh, I
yeah,
just
have you seen all of his films? I know
yeah, I saw them all. Yeah, everything he's done, I've seen.
the masterpiece Abduction.
Abduction. That abduction like Too Fast, Too Furious. I wouldn't even consider his movies.
Yeah, they felt more so like
Those are more like Kevin Smith has a saying when he made Cop Out. He said that's not his movie. It was a movie he was hired to direct, and I feel like that's the case with those two movies. You can tell that they're not their movies, and so I don't
yeah,
really
they're
care.
not as passionate about them.
I don't know about if it's that or if they just weren't allowed to be. Like, if maybe if they're allowed to make them how they want to make them and, whatever, I think it would have been one thing, but they're not. Kevin Smith does not consider Cop Out his movie. And it's sad because I love that movie a lot actually.
I don't like it, but I also do feel bad for Kevin Smith because it's a film that when you watch it, you can't help but think, oh wow, this is the film where his idol Bruce Willis, he lost a lot of respect for him because they did not get along at all, and Bruce Willis just did not have any respect for Kevin Smith.
Yeah, that's
Um,
actually a thing for me, Chad. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I know we're a ways off from our Hollywood dreams, right?
yeah,
But
unfortunately,
but but I always said to myself, like, if presented the opportunity, like I witnessed, and I might have told you this before, but I witnessed like Kevin Hart pour out his soul to Chadwick Boseman to try to get him to do this movie on his Netflix documentary. And he pitched his heart out to Chadwick Boseman, all for Chadwick Boseman to tell him, bro, I don't know, man. Like, and Kevin played it off, and it disgusted me on so many levels because I was mad at Kevin because I was like, don't never kiss nobody's behind and put him on the pedestal like that. But also on Chadwick's side, I'm like, wow, like he wasn't a douche about he. It kind of came off douchey, but he was like, man, I don't know, like. And my thing was, I think Kev should have just said, you know what, God bless you. We'll have to end this meeting. Hopefully we'll find some in the future. Because if somebody says that to me, that tells me they don't belong on the project. I only want people there that
yeah,
want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like if
100%.
somebody's like, I'm not sure this that, and I'm like, then not you're not here. Like he really pitched him, Chad. Like one of those pitches, like, oh, remember how I told you how Warner Brothers gave these guys the movie because their pitch was so passionate?
Yeah,
Imagine that, but going the opposite way. That's what it went. Like Kevin was just looking like stupid, like trying to like play it off, like, oh yeah, you a thespian, ha 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 ha. I was like, Kev, don't get on your knees, Kev. You act like, and mind you, that's a real. it was a real thing that happened. Like it wasn't like you're this is like you're seeing like Chad would be like, God rest him. He pretty much told him like, yeah, like not my thing. I got that. Nah. But
Gotta
then
think it over.
but then look, a couple scenes later, you see Idris Elba come and he says, "Yes, Kev, I love what you want to do here. Let's do it." And I was like, "That's what you want to hear. If they're not, hey man, I'm in. Let's go. They're not. They don't belong on the movie. Like just don't hire
Yeah,
them."
because otherwise it's gonna be like pulling teeth. Then it's not gonna be a
Yeah,
smooth experience.
and that's what I think what happened with Kevin Smith, where I feel like he signed on to the movie, but I don't know, maybe it was pieces in place where like he didn't really cast Bruce Willis or he didn't get a chance to really get to meet him before he came on. I don't know.
No,
But
no, no,
that
he
was
did. So he met him, Live Free or Die Hard, because they were both in it.
Mhm.
And that was when Kevin Smith talked to him about like, hey, I want you to be like in one of my movies. And next movie was Cop Out, so he immediately casted Bruce Willis. So,
Yeah,
by
that's
the way, we
that's
have some
that's that's
comments real
unfortunate.
quick. Film Kid says, I also love Kevin Smith, and I've seen Mallrats, The Clerks, and Jay and Silent Bob movies, and I don't think there is a bad one. There's not immediately like a bad one that comes to mind. There's just some that are kind of like but yeah. Marv should definitely watch Mallrats. I think Marv would like Mallrats 100%.
I probably would. I just haven't had no urge to watch it.
No, I get that. Anthony Perez, thank you, Marv. Anthony is a legend. Film Kid, but Mallrats has that weird mind reading scene. I don't really remember that scene, to be honest, but to be fair, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie. Film Kid, Too Fast, Too Furious isn't bad, though. Not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of it.
That is considered a urban classic, to be honest.
Yeah, I do not like it. Film Kid, Chad's favorite Singleton movie is Rosewood. Could be not. We'll see in 3 hours. All right, I think we'll end the live stream though now. Hopefully, pretty soon. The goal is by the end of this month for us to do our 2001: A Space Odyssey review. Sergey, Marv, and myself. So stay tuned for that. But as always, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching and interacting, and I will catch you guys later. Same with
Catch you
Marv.
guys later, guys.
Peace.